Okay,
I jumped the gun.
thank you.
I think there was a little delay.
That's right. I'll say it again. I'll call the meeting to order at 5:45. Let's do roll call.
All right, Chair Martin Gilmore,
Here.
Vice Chair Kyle Conrad. Here. Stuart Alden.
Here.
Louisa Alvarez. Here. Ryan Kelly.
Here.
Erica Kriesel. Here. Jenny Lynch. Here. And City Council Liaison, Mayor Sierra is not present. Yes, we have Senior Services Manager for the Maui Recreation Center, Nancy Baum. Tracy Savina is not present. And online, we're waiting for Lindsay Runyon to join.
I think she's still looking for, she just texted me, I think she's still looking for a link.
I think her email didn't work.
She's asked, can you send it to her Englewood chamber?
Okay. And staff, we have Communications Director, Chris Hargu, Web and Digital Content Strategist, Lucia Magnuson, Visual Communications Specialist, Patty Sanders, and guess we have City Manager Sean Lewis. Did I get everybody?
All right.
Okay. We'll move on to the approval of the minutes from last meeting.
Motion to approve the minutes?
All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. All opposed? All right.
Can I ask, I was looking down, I apologize, I was trying to get used to all this here. Who did the first and the second? Thank you.
I don't know if we had a second.
Did we have a second?
I second.
Okay, thank you.
All approved, all in favor?
Aye.
All opposed? Okay. Lindsay on. For time constraints, we're going to try to move Lindsay up in the agenda, but she's not locked in yet, so should we just move on, I suppose? Can we do, we'll go to new business and we'll fit Lindsay in when she logs up. Review of Sister Cities itinerary.
Sure, when if she gets on, I'll be glad to pause.
Okay.
But yeah, thanks for the opportunity. You know, we don't have a Sister Cities Commission, and if you didn't know from last year, we had some articles in the Englewood magazine, and oh, there she is, I'm just gonna stop.
All right. We'll jump straight to Lindsay, so.
Oh, thank you. I apologize. I could not find the link, so thank you for sending that. Okay, let me just share my screen with you guys. Sorry. I'm having technical difficulties. 1 second. I'm not sure what is going on. When I hit share screen, it asks if I want to share the whole screen. And when I say that, it won't share my window.
Yeah, there are two options when you hit share screen. One is the whole your screen or a window. You're going to pick window and then find the document that you want to share and click on it, I think.
Yeah.
So it's saying share this window, and that's my only option.
Oh.
So
Well, you
weird.
could do that and then just click on the tab where your presentation is.
Okay, I'll try that.
Maybe give it a second. I don't know.
Do you have a tab that's ready to open with your?
Do you have your presentation opened yet?
Yeah, it's a PDF.
She could email it to you all.
Yeah, if you want to mail it or email it to Debbie.
I think the file's probably too big.
Okay.
Why don't we just switch over to Sean for a minute, and I'll try to figure this out, and then drop the link in the chat, if that's okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay,
I apologize. I'm sorry.
it's all right. All right, Sean.
Yeah, so we last year really revived this. This is over 10 years old, this relationship, and it had really gone dormant for about the last 8 years. And it started with the International City Management Association, who paired our then city manager, Gary Sears, with a town manager in Belm, Germany. And that ended up creating a sister city relationship, and Belm delegates visited Englewood back then. We visited Belm, but it largely remained dormant. And we tried to kind of revive it during COVID, but it was not the right time. So last year, working with the school district, we came up with a plan to make this more of an educational student cultural exchange, as opposed to, just like mayors and councils going back and forth. We really wanted to get value from that. So we sent 6 students to Belm, Germany, and they were selected by the Englewood High School principal. And we did open that up to other homeschool and other school partners in the community, but ended up taking 6 students from Englewood High School. We had a teacher, Carla Schatz, who went with the group, and then the mayor and his son went to Belm. So they had a great time, and we've somewhat base our itinerary after theirs, because we thought, well, if you're showing us these things, then you probably want to see those in our community. We have sent this draft to them, and they've already made suggestions. Stuart was kind enough to email me a suggestion before the meeting, which I love. So if we can just go through it, this is who's going to be doing it. They actually are going to go to DC before they come to Englewood, which is great. And when we get them on Sunday the 8th, we were really just planning on it's late afternoon, just to give them time to kind of rest, get to know their host families, and acclimate, so no official activities. The official activities really start in earnest on Monday, when we were going to have a tour of the Civic Center. Lindsay has been kind enough to ask her board if they will give us a tour during non-business hours of the History Museum, which interestingly will be an exhibit on Englewood schools. We wanted to take them to Pirates Cove, but that's really not that interesting because it's closed. And we think the time at the recreation center to recreate is good, but a couple of these other ones are maybe a little bit. This is where I'd love your input, is especially on this day. We wanted to have lunch at the rec center, possibly a tour of the water treatment plant, maybe a less interesting tour of the South Platte wastewater treatment plant. And then there is a multi-sport simulator that's pretty cool at Broken T that we wanted to give them. So really just a day in Englewood. This is where we would want to, have I think is the most opportunity for y'all to give us ideas. At 5:30 that night, we did want to have a welcome dinner. We would love to have this committee invited. The reason I'm presenting this to you all is because we don't really have a Sister Cities committee or a public, committee that can help provide guidance, and we would love some public input into this. Since it's cultural is in your name, we thought, why not CAC? So we'll have dinner and then introducing the delegates later that night at the city council meeting. On Tuesday, and we'll come back to that day, but on Tuesday we have Englewood Schools Day, and that's pretty much all day that they will be with Englewood Schools, and the school district will handle all of those details. Wednesday, Meg Froelich this morning agreed to give them a tour of the floor of the Capitol, of the House, and I think Jeff Bridges is going to give a tour of the Senate. They're going to talk to them about state government, which they did for us in Frankfurt, I think. I can't remember what their state capital was. We'll do lunch downtown somewhere, go to the Museum of Nature and Science. Interestingly, we had another museum here and they said, no, we'd like to do some shopping. So we're gonna take them to Cherry Creek Mall. That was the one big change that they suggested. We think we have to take them to the mountains. Open to your feedback on this, but we were gonna go to Estes Park, let them walk around, do a short, easy hike in the national park, weather permitting, and then come back that night. On Friday, kind of an Englewood, Denver sports day, give them some time if people wanna climb at the movement climbing gym. And then I think we're gonna have to cut Empower Field. It's $653 to send 10 or big 12 people with our, I don't think we can afford it. We've only got a budget of $5,000 for this whole thing that's in the budget. Council allocates that, has for the last 2 years, and I think that that's gonna exclude that activity. Coors Field is a little cheaper, and then take them to Meow Wolf, and then have a farewell dinner on Friday night, and followed by Saturday morning, which they're completely open. They go to the airport, I think at like 6 or 7. So we'd have some time to maybe plant a tree, a Sister Cities tree, in a park that we would work with parks to do so. Suggestions, thoughts, feedback. Again, I think the most opportunity for your input is number one, what to exchange Empower Field with. It doesn't have to be sports related. And then back up on the Englewood Day, Stuart had suggested, why don't you, we get the Englewood, Good in Englewood t-shirt, screen prints at his place, right, around that area. You've got a couple of art galleries. We could take them to the upstairs. But again, I think we're gonna have to get people to be a little off schedule if we did that. But that's already been suggested, but open to your other suggestions.
I'd mentioned like having them eat at Brewability. I think would be a great.
Oh, that you were asking me to lunch at Brewability.
No, if you'd like. But no, I think as far as like eating somewhere.
Yeah,
and
that's
eating
great.
food, I mean, because it's like that's the heart of downtown there.
Yeah, we could definitely do that.
And I think the Art Gallery, because there's a MK, like I mentioned in the South Englewood South, there's MK Collective, there's Blue Tile, or Seesaw, excuse me, and then the MK Collective downtown for sort of some, like if it's a cultural exchange.
Yeah.
It's like showing Englewood culture.
Yeah, that's actually what they took off was art museum. They were not interested in the Denver Art Museum, but I think if we're showing them kind of local, if it's an Englewood Day, that makes sense. So.
Speaking as one of those people, I'd be super happy. I have an exhibition opening on the 14th of March, so on Friday, if in lieu of Empower Field. If they wanted to come to Seaside, I'd be super happy to have them.
Cool.
And my studio is like 6 blocks.
Right.
That.
Yeah, maybe we could just, let's see. Maybe we could do, they were really interested in Meow Wolf. They'd never heard of it, but when they saw it, because I included these links in the one they sent. But yeah, maybe we could just end the day doing that. Is that all right? Because we're going to be in Denver. I don't want to go back and forth.
Oh, I see.
Or we could do it at the top too, during the Englewood Day.
Look at my calendar.
Can you go back
just
to
be
the
sure.
Englewood Day?
I also want to point out you don't have Red Rocks on here, which is kind of the iconic
No.
hike around.
The school district actually said, they suggested the sports kind of day rather than the Springs. Because I had several activities in the Springs outlined, and the school district was like, I think you should focus closer here and that the sports would be more interesting, but we could oppose that to
But
the
Red Rocks
group.
is only 20 minutes from
Yes.
us.
Oh, Red
Yeah,
Rock,
yeah.
sorry, I'm thinking of Garden of the Gods.
No, I'm thinking
Red Rocks.
Red Rocks, the amphitheater, because you can tour it, but then they have all the hikes, the trading post hikes, and
Yeah.
I think just being in that space is really, and they have the museum, the music museum, so it's kind of
Okay,
an interesting one. And then
Is that a good museum? I've never been to it.
It's okay.
Okay.
Screen print posters for the music industry, so there's.
Yeah.
So.
Okay.
Sean, there's the Living History Museum in Littleton that's
Oh,
close
yeah.
by, and that's,
Oh, I love the Littleton
Yeah,
Museum.
that's a great
It's-
tour.
And it's free.
Yeah.
It's awesome. And if you let me know, I have great connections, so we'll make sure there's interpreters there.
Oh, good.
The
Yeah.
European people tend to laugh at the Littleton Museum because of the history, like, we're like,
I
it's
know.
really old, and then they're like, come to us,
Right.
thousands of years old.
Yeah, when we were there, they showed us like Roman artifacts that from their town. So yeah.
How long was the Englewood gang there?
A week.
Oh, okay.
Mm-hmm.
So we were kind of reciprocating that,
Right.
mirroring that, okay.
Good.
And who are the hosts from Englewood?
So we have so the adults have requested to be in hotels. We told them we can't afford that, so we found a 4-bedroom, 4-bath for the 4 adults, Airbnb, short-term rental, in a town, or right actually, south of the city limits, and they are good with that. And then the host families for the students are the students that went last year, and a couple of new ones. Ms. Schatz is going to be a host, and then there's another teacher at Clayton. I can't remember her name, but she's going to be a host. So I think we've got host families thanks to the school district lined up.
Okay. And if the entire trip is free of charge for
Yes.
our guests?
Except for, spending money and some of the meals and things, like we were going to be buying their meals if we're on a day of activities. That's one reason why we're thinking at the rec center, because it's a cheap box lunch or Cafe 180, but I'm sure we can, it would be great to have them at Brewability too, so.
And who pays for it? Where did the 5,000 come from?
Yeah, council allocated it in the budget for this year and last year. So, and actually last year Englewood Rotary Club donated almost $2,000 because we didn't have enough money to send all the kids there. And some of the kids were free and reduced lunch. So Englewood Rotary made up the difference of the 5,000 that we had and what we needed to send all of them for free. So I would like to not go back to the Rotary well this year and get this under 5,000.
So what is the long-term plan after they've hosted us, we've hosted them?
We'd like to do
what's
it
the goal?
annually. Yeah, the goal I think is to, most cities have a sister city in another country, and it's a combination of goals that they have. Some cities make it kind of an economic thing where we've got, like Berlin and Denver, sister cities, and they actually do like economic development stuff together. Belm is a very small village, and really they don't, neither city is that interested in that, but we think a cultural student exchange where you're exposing a new group of Englewood students to a foreign culture that they can, immerse themselves in for a week really can, particularly if we focus on, like I've asked the school district and the superintendent agrees, focus on some folks that would normally not get this opportunity. It's just an opportunity to, really expand people's horizons for the future.
If I may, thank you for bringing this to us, because I think we just recently voted on adopting the vision, which I don't have memorized yet, but to position Englewood as a vibrant, inclusive, and recognized destination for arts and culture that reflects the diversity, creativity, and spirit of the community. So I think this is a great opportunity for us to really showcase the spirit of Englewood.
Yeah.
And the cultural exchange. I mean, I'm always going to be a big fan of cultural exchange and experiences. I will be honest, this is a long list for me to digest at the moment.
Yeah.
But I would love the opportunity to look at it again and kind of see if I could provide some input afterwards. Maybe we could follow up. I don't know what your timelines are.
Yeah.
But I do want to double down on this Red Rocks thing. I think just recently, and I wanted to double check, Red Rocks was the second most attended music venue in the US.
Wow.
And so that's a pretty cool statistic to show our culture. And specifically because I'm biased, I know they don't want to see a lot of museums, but at least it's music and it has a beautiful view. And
it's
you might hiking. I know.
In foothills?
And picture ops. I mean,
Love it.
so I
think that's
just
an
want to
easy
double down on
switch.
that one.
Yeah.
I would third that. I've been in Colorado most of my life, and Estes Park is a tourist trap, and Red Rocks is sort of nature. And I mean, there's neat things in Estes, but it's just, you can get outside of it, but it's just like, it's all.
And I was going to suggest, actually, if you look at Estes or potentially Granby, the YMCA is really incredible, and they're wanting I've been trying to build better connections with the schools that I'm part of with the YMCA, and so they might be willing to host an experience up there for Nordic skiing, especially in March around those tracks. So that might be something with the Grand Nordic Center. Might be something to put on the list that is affordable, active, and kind of get you tour guides doing the activity.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And then I wanted to add one more thing. I think it would be really cool to maybe hear from some of the high school students of anything that they bring out back from their experience that they think maybe we should think about bringing into our community from their traveling. So there might be something down the road, not this year, but like in the future as our students get that more broad experience, it would be so cool to kind of hear from them and get ideas generated from
And we did that for council, so
Okay.
they did a whole presentation, everybody that went plus
So
the
cool.
teacher, and gave it long, pretty decent report,
Awesome.
maybe 10, 20 minutes to council when they came back. They did the same thing for Englewood Rotary Club as a funder. And so, yeah, if this committee kind of wants to take sister cities on, which I'm not pushing on you, but I think it fits better here for a public group to look at.
It's just
And
so,
we can definitely have that feedback when our students come back next year.
just awesome.
Yeah, I like it. Okay, thoughts on, and again, it's not a trip to Estes, it's to get them to Rocky Mountain National Park.
And that part I think is great.
Yeah,
Isn't there new charges for people from Germany to go to Rocky Mountain National Park? It's
Well,
$100 per person.
yes, it's $100 for people not from the United States, but because it's an Englewood bus, the bus would be charged $75. So it's still pretty affordable to get them in. But if there's a place in Granby or somewhere to enter
Well,
the park
so
and
that's-
take a hike.
Well, Granby does have entrance to the park, but in March you would want to go in from the Estes side, I would think, right? Because isn't the Granby side, it's on the
Memorial
Grand
Day is
Lake.
when
Yeah.
Trail
Yeah.
Ridge Road.
It's probably less ideal to enter it from that time of year. However, I will say, having gone Nordic skiing up there recently, it's just gorgeous. Like the
Yeah.
hiking around there is stellar, and you are on the other side of the park, you're just not in the park.
Okay.
And I would say also with Estes Park in March, hopefully it wouldn't be too crazy. I know summer is
The wind.
insane,
Yeah.
but I think March, that's like a pretty shoulder season for.
You're also gonna have the
Estes.
wind up there though.
Yes.
March, wind and Estes. I grew up in Loveland. It's nutty.
Yes, the weather might be crazy.
Amazing.
Or amazing, yeah, or beautiful.
Yeah.
Another idea is Swallow Hill might be. I don't know.
Oh.
What is Belm like? Is it in the mountains too?
It's actually part of a larger urban area too, but it's just a little further out than kind of what we are. And I can't remember the name of the bigger urban area that they're near, but it's more of a small town. Feel like under 10,000 people, and in fact, they send their schools to the larger town next door. I mean, their high school, but like they have their own elementary and junior high in the city. But they are very excited about this, and they've been trying to get us involved for a long time.
Outside of the shopping, is there anything on this list where they would either make or be given something to take home with them?
Yeah, so at the farewell dinner, and if we do the screen printing, which I think is a great idea to combine with the art stuff, that would be on the 9th, this Englewood. I think that would be better.
Oh,
That's
I won't be ready by the 9th.
Oh, okay.
Sorry, I was thinking on the 13th,
Uh-huh.
because I'll have my exhibition ready. That's my install week, starting on the 9th.
Gotcha. Yeah.
But I can check with the other galleries and see if somebody else would, could slot in there on the 9th.
Which gallery are you?
I'm Seesaw.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, to answer, so I screen print, and so I do these social shirts, and so I've designed this shirt that says "Explore the Good in Englewood." And I've done it for a bunch of people in and around town already, and so I allow people to come in and like pull their own shirt, and so that's something. It actually says Colorado and USA on the bottom of it, and it's got all the zip codes. So that would be something, and I wouldn't charge for that, so they could come in and actually do that as have a souvenir to walk away with.
And then the school district has designed a logo that our comms folks have reviewed. And it kind of is a blend of Englewood and Belm. And we are going to do like a shirt or hat for them for that. We will definitely at the welcome dinner and at the farewell dinner be presenting gifts. And if you have a community gift, I'd love to hear it. What I did last year, sit with the delegation, was the plaque, was a big framed version of the new mural that has Englewood on the side of Framed Art, and they really liked it because it was very kind of Englewoody, and we framed it, made it look really nice. So that was our official gift. They will give us an official gift, and we need to give them an official gift. So open to your suggestions on that, because I was scrapping the bottom of the barrel to figure out what we could give. Y'all could come up with that better, but we've got time for those suggestions. Okay, well, I think I've got some changes. I'll look into the Granby thing. I'll tell you, I got a concussion on my first time Nordic skiing.
Take them snowshoeing.
Yeah, snowshoeing would be better. But yeah, particularly looking at the weather, we could play that one by ear.
Yeah, I would think about Estes, so it's usually when that season, March is tough.
Yeah.
It's tough in Rocky Mountain because that wind just comes shooting down. So maybe it's like you pay a lot to get in there to kind of be not able to get out of the car potentially.
Yeah. Okay. Well, we'll take.
But not to say you shouldn't, because it's gorgeous.
And we could just have we just are trying to think of a quintessential mountain town. So I was like, Georgetown or somebody with like a main street that they're walking.
Let's go.
Doing the train. Do they still run the train in March? I don't know. Georgetown Loop.
Yeah.
Georgetown Loop is really great because that's very scenic and you ride the train. I don't know about what's.
Okay.
It's
Yeah, that would be cool.
It's also far.
And Sean, you haven't mentioned hot springs like at all. Hot springs.
You know what? Right. And that, Georgetown has some of those too, don't they?
I think so. Idaho Springs does. Glenwood.
That would be far.
Yeah, those are pretty far.
Sulphur Springs is closer.
Oh yeah, that's right next to Georgetown.
Sulphur's near.
Valley too, their excursions. Maybe
Okay.
they have an idea.
Yeah, that'd be great.
There's the Hotel de Paris too, I think in Georgetown, if I remember correctly. It's like an old it's a museum, but it's called the Hotel de Paris.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, maybe Georgetown would definitely be less windy.
The train won't be running yet.
Yeah, I was wondering about the train because it's seasonal, but they run it in the winter, but maybe only in December or November for the Christmas.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the thoughts. I'll send out a revised based on these suggestions, and then y'all can come maybe individually. This is the February meeting. We could make some minor tweaks in March, but it's pretty close to the time. They'll probably want to have a finalized itinerary, but I'd be glad to take additional input individually too.
Yeah.
All right, thanks y'all.
Thank you.
Sorry, Lindsay.
No worries at all.
All right, back to you, Lindsay.
Debbie or Lucia, I did send you the file. Do you guys mind sharing it since for some reason I'm unable to share my window? Great. Thank you so much. So, couple of things. We did get approval from Arapaho Tribal to use their sign, or I'm sorry, to use their emblem. However, we did also meet with the Southern Ute Indian tribe, and they wanted to make a few tweaks to the language, and we have not received back their suggestions yet. Basically, they didn't really have an issue with us using the seal, but they wanted us to be aware that there actually is only 2 federally recognized tribes in Colorado, and so they wanted to add a line about that. So I was expecting to hear back from them yesterday, but I have not yet. So unfortunately, this mural is still a little bit up in the air as we're kind of awaiting for feedback on not only the language, but making sure that the other tribes don't mind if we, use the emblem or seal. And then the other comment we received was that the image that's being used in the background, now this is just the Southern Utes opinion, but they felt like it would be better if it were either a landscape or possibly they have a few images of, teepee campsites that don't have any Native Americans pictured in the actual painting or photograph. They just felt like this was like maybe a little bit of a too idealized snapshot of time and not accurate. So that was some of the feedback that we received on that. If you want to go ahead and advance to the next section, and then we can come back and do some questions afterwards. So this is just a close-up of that. again, just waiting feedback. They were going to also send some photographs / paintings as suggestions for the background as well. And then go ahead to the next page. So in regards to the timeline, communications reviewed our text and they had a few edits. So those edits sorry, my brain is fried today. So I took care of those edits. We also had a few picture upgrades. The Southern Ute tribe, if you want to go to the next page and then go ahead to the next one. So the Southern Ute tribe also wanted to make some suggestions to the pre-Gold Rush text that we have there. Again, that same image is being used, and so there was a suggestion to replace that image. Just kind of waiting to hear back from them on that. And then if you want to advance to the next couple of slides. So these are just close-ups of the timeline. A few pictures were updated, a few edits were made to the text. In the 2020s, you will notice that we did add in a portion about the under 2025, we added the South Englewood. Sorry, I can't even like zoom in with my glasses on there. Anyway, about
Lindsay, I think
the
you're talking
flood.
about the South Englewood Flood Reduction Project.
Yes, sorry. So we did add that in there. That was a great suggestion that came down from Vanessa because we had focused a lot on the different floods that had happened throughout our timeline. So I think adding that in there was a great suggestion. And then I moved the paragraph that says present over to our future side, and then the shaping the future is there as well. I'm not sure if I remember correctly, Lucia, you might remember, was there a suggestion to swap out the city council chambers picture to something else?
I don't remember that discussion.
Okay. Well, if everyone's okay with that picture, great. If not, like we're open if we need to switch something else into that position. All the other pictures, to my knowledge, have been updated. Lucia, thanks for sending those over. We appreciate that. Let's see. The third mural, there really wasn't any changes to that except that it's left justified per Erica's suggestion from our last meeting. So we went ahead and made changes to that. Sorry, next slide, please. Yeah, so on here, that we justified the text to the left before it was centered. Otherwise, there was no other changes that we had to this. And then if you want to go to the next slide, please. This is the final mural. Go ahead and go to the next one. It kind of zooms in on it. So we did talk to the Southern Ute tribe about this particular panel as well. They suggested adding an asterisk to the poem and are going to send us their suggested language for that. They felt like the poem was okay overall, but they did suggest adding an asterisk. And then additionally, the two images that are above the poem, one is one's a painting, one's an etching, and they asked for the background of that, so I sent that over to them. But they said they might have a different suggestion for that imagery. So that is where we're at right now. I had talked to Chris last week, and we had kind of hoped that maybe we could push forward with wall number 2, 3, and 4, and then maybe just hold off on the native tribe mural for a little while until we got official feedback from all the tribes. But it looks like there's other things on these other panels that are of interest to them also reviewing. So that's kind of where we're at right now. What kind of questions can I answer?
I have a question. Lindsay, thank you for going through that. I know we've gone back and forth a couple months, and I do appreciate the thoughtfulness of reaching out to the tribes and asking how they want to be represented. And I do agree with your last statement where if there's no urgency, and my question to you is there an urgency? If there's no urgency, I believe it may be in our best interest to await the input from the tribes for all of them. But I don't know what the timelines are like. So is there an urgency to get this out ASAP, or do we have some padding to wait for the input?
I'll defer to Chris. I think, you know, in the beginning, we had hoped to finish this, you know, in 2025. So it has been delayed, unfortunately. And, you know, some of that is normal with just, you know, things changing and other folks getting interested and involved. I would say, you know, it's had kind of a reiteration along the way, which is normal. Chris, without speaking, you know, for Tim, you know, how are you feeling about if this goes on like another month? If
Well,
we can get,
Yeah, I think we want to make sure we get it right. We don't want to find,
yeah,
we don't want to have this plastered on that wall and then find out, oh gosh, that looks. So, no, I think I'm comfortable waiting another month at this point.
okay.
Hopefully we can get that back between now and the next meeting and then bring back a final version to the commission.
Now, if I'm able to get, I was gonna say, we might be able to move forward on, you know, there's very minor changes that would happen to wall number 4 and wall number 2. And so I think that I could move those forward and wall number 3. I think I could move those forward pretty easily. I just feel like wall 1 is the one that's going to take some time to get the other 3 tribes to approve.
That sounds good to me because it's probably going to take, I would think once these are sent to the vendor, it's going to take some time to process the images, install the images, print the images. So that works with me if everybody else is comfortable with it.
Okay. Well, I'm happy to, you know, hopefully have a finalized version for you guys at the beginning of March. And the vendor, he's about 2 weeks out at this point. So, you know, I think we'll be okay there. If I get, you guys never vote by email though, is that correct?
Correct.
Okay. All right. Okie doke. Anything else I can answer?
I'm wondering at this point if we just bring it all back instead of doing it piecemeal. Let's just bring it all back in March. Perfect.
Okay.
Thank you, Lindsay.
Voting on with it, because I feel like we've already given the money and also given feedback, so it would just be a final approval.
I think a final approval before we go to print.
Okay.
And Lindsay,
great.
I really appreciate all your work into working with the tribes. I think it is so important that we get it right, and so I appreciate it.
Yeah, it's been interesting to make those contacts too. Like I'm hoping that we'll have you know, more of an opportunity to do some things in the future together just by, you know, making these contacts. So well, I appreciate your time. Thank you so much. And I will talk to you all soon.
Thanks, Lindsay.
Thank you.
Thank you.
All right, go on to art maintenance plan.
Do we want to do public comment first?
Oh, sure.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm here for the meeting, so
Okay.
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
Yeah.
Art maintenance.
Got it. Let me switch over here. Can you share on that? I feel like it keeps unsharing. Thank you. Okay. Art maintenance plan. I'll try to go through this pretty quickly. But we did the internal art survey, so we all went around, assessed all these artworks. This is what came back. We had a total of 35 artworks. 21 looked good, no damage. We have 9 traffic cabinet wraps that need attention with graffiti and scuffs and tape residue, etc. And then we have 5 artworks that need attention, just to break that down from what we saw. So these are the traffic cabinet wraps. You can see graffiti, stickers, some peeling, and all of the things in between. Really, it's just touch-ups. I have been reaching out to traffic and parks just to see if they have any solutions to clean up those wraps. We're working with Harmonic to find like some gentle soap that we can get that off. But I'm working on that, the traffic cabinet wraps, restoring them. If the damage is too severe, we'll be reaching out to Harmonic to get a quote on how much that's gonna cost to fix. So that's where traffic cabinet wraps are. For other artwork, we have the Broadway flowers, which just overall needs like a paint refresh. A lot of them are just a little bit dull. And there's some graffiti on them, which just would need to be painted over at this point. We have the Fork and Spring crosswalk, which has normal wear, but obviously it's cracked. The red wedges was identified that it needed to be repainted and it had minor scuffs on it. And I reached out to facilities about this just to see, like, do they have the capacity to paint these? Is that something they're up to? And they just went and repainted it. So it looks good. It looks good. And they did that on their own dime. Is that how we want to move forward in the future? I'm not sure, but it does look good. For the I'll Bet You Can't Pin Me Down, the pin top needs to be repainted. We'll reach out to the artist for that. And then the cone flowers need to repaint, and then the bottom of one of the flowers is damaged, like it has a little bit of rust and it's bent. So that's where we're at with the 5 art pieces. And then just for MOA, there's 26 artworks still in Englewood, and I have reached out to them about their maintenance plan, but I haven't heard back yet. So that's where we're at with that. As far as options moving forward, I know I kind of made a interesting assessment plan from last year, and we can continue to go with this plan where we're helping to clean up the artwork. We send out bids if there's extensive damage or the artist is no longer with us. But if the artist is still with us, we can work with them and figuring out how to repair their artwork. Or we halt and we do a request for proposal on an established art maintenance company, similar to what we did in 2018, to do a complete review and provide an estimate for repair. So 2 options. I wanted to hear from you guys on how we want to move forward with maintaining this artwork.
Having been here in 2018 with that company, I remember that company that did that is no longer around, and I don't know, it was really hard to find another company that was doing that. So it wasn't necessarily a bad thing, but I don't know that we necessarily need to do it if we can reach out individually. However, it's probably best to reach out to the artist first before we go and do the repairs. There are people in Englewood who like repair artwork. That's
Okay.
their gig, so hopefully we can.
Like, to that point, could you reach out to the artist first and give them, here's a couple of vendors like Harmonic, and have the artist go and assess whether their art needs to be repaired or not, like put it on them.
Yeah.
Upkeep it, and then they can get the artist, they can talk to Harmonic and get you an estimate.
Yeah. Definitely do that.
I'm
Yeah,
sure
You don't
and
have to do it all.
I know.
I'm inclined towards number 1. So.
Okay. And then just when I've been a part of like the mural process specifically, like in the contract, I have it in there that they maintain the artwork for as long as it's up. So I'm assuming that's also been done with the previous artworks, but.
Yeah, and with like the median art, the I'll Bet You Can't Pin Me Down, it is in the contract that we will give first option to the artist. And then if they're unable to, then, but even, we always have that like 1-year period or something, but yeah, we definitely will reach out to those.
But I think we can assess it and say, this needs to have something done with it. Reach out to the artist and figure out from there.
Okay.
I also lean towards option 1, just in the sake of the budget that we have this year and our goals of getting as much art out as possible. I think maybe when we're established, where we feel we're in a better place, where we have all the art that we want as a community, then it may be too much for us to handle, and then it might be better to go to a third party. But I agree that the artist should have responsibility to some degree, and also first option to themselves.
And I agree with everyone, but the one thought I did have is like maybe every 5 or 10 years, we have it as a strategic plan where we have a company come out and do a deep assessment of our art. That is not something we would do every year, but maybe it's something we do like every 10 years, we have a company and we just know that's part of it, we save up towards it, and then they go around and do that deep maintenance check. But every year we should be doing a maintenance check, working with artists to maintain, and then hopefully, only on a 10-year mark, there's like major, or we have somebody come in and tell us if we need to do deeper work on the pieces.
I do know at least one person in Englewood who does exactly this.
Okay, perfect. Okay.
And then if we ask the artist, leave it to the artist first, are they allowed to come back and tell us how much that it costs and the stipend for that?
We have money set aside in the budget specifically for art maintenance, so I think that would be what they would do, is come back with a quote.
Yeah, in theory, the money would go directly to the company. They would just provide the estimate to the company, and then the money would go
Oh, I
directly to
see.
that company.
Okay, so
So the artist, so they're not handling it.
Oh, wow,
money
okay, I
part
didn't know that.
would be
Okay.
my guess,
Okay.
or recommendation, I guess.
Okay.
Any opposition to option 1? Okay, beautiful.
Great, is that all?
That's it.
All right. Let's see, we'll head on to the Mally Mural Art Selection.
Perfect. I was like, where am I on this? Sorry.
We're back on track.
Okay. Am I on it? Okay, perfect. Okay, I submitted to everyone a form for voting for the top 3 artists to select for the Mally mural. We did the art call starting January 12th, I believe, and it ended last week. And so, top 3 artists, first one, Talia, who's a art teacher in Englewood. She was the top scorer. Then we have Alexandria Jade. And then we have Ali Gosson. And that's our top 3. I wanted to make sure you guys were good. You didn't have any reservations about these artists when you read their artist statements, that you guys are good to go with these 3 for the concept art.
I have one comment, it's not related to picking artists, but I noticed that a lot of them didn't have their portfolio linked, and I was wondering if we could have like a different field in the request so they don't skip it.
Yeah, I had it where they could submit like photos of their portfolio just in case they didn't have access or didn't know how to build their own website portfolio. So that's something we can definitely adjust in the future too.
I was able to like just, Google all of them, but I wasn't sure what they were presented with.
Got it. Yeah, I had it where they could skip it and then add images from there. But we can consider that just like they need a website if we wanted to.
Or even their Instagram.
Yeah.
Yeah, I wasn't trying to make an extra requirement because everybody had some stuff on the internet. It was just kind of hard to find.
Yeah. Okay, got it.
I was okay with the photos. I thought for some people who weren't ready to build a website, it was a nice way that they could still show us their work
Yes, exactly.
as an entryway for Englewood.
And there's a couple things from this experience, because building the criteria and the guidelines, which has turned into a total mess, is a couple comments, and I just want to throw this to the table for thought. In the community feedback, some of the things that we heard, and I think you were part of that session as well, is that we really want to focus on local artists and prioritizing that. So one of the things I do want to say, while I voted for Alexandra J, is also taken into consideration, she's not necessarily local. So there is an advantage to other artists on that list that are hyper local, like Denver and Englewood. And then also about the portfolio. Like Ali, I wish there was a social media handle, and I could see where the difficulty is. I just wanted to throw that out there.
Yeah.
And I think it would be great, maybe this is just for us to think about and mull over, is possibly if you don't have a portfolio, maybe the exception here is that you do have to submit your concept art. And maybe that's something that could help with the decision making, because I felt biased towards Ali, and you all know why, because I want to make it accessible for everyone. But I also want to keep it to when someone were to ask us, why did we choose this artist? It's because of this, 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 and this, not because we liked it. And then lastly is, I'm throwing one out here for Chelsea Hart. She is local. When we talked about what represents Englewood, some of the community feedback we heard was vibrant, colorful, playful, and that also led into a couple questions of artist submissions and artist portfolios and defining what is artful, playful, and vibrant. But I do want to throw that out there that Chelsea kind of meets those criteria, and she is local. So I know I'm throwing a wrench here. And majority vote is what we're looking for. But I just wanted to propose that and bring that to the table just for consideration. But other than that, the top 4 seems like a good fit.
When voting, I feel like I had a bit of a struggle with that very thing of being like, okay, how do I weight them being a local artist versus me loving the art that they make, and also listening and looking at all these statements and being like, okay, well, they clearly read the brief and they know exactly what we want. So I felt that was really hard. So I don't know if anybody else felt that way. But
can I add something, even though I'm not on the committee? I think that the first artist, I forgot her name already. Talia. I was kind of drawn to hers because she mentions, I think it was her, mentioned bringing some of the students in to work on it. And how cool is that? Like, we're a true community center, to bring some of the kids in. I don't know. To me, I just felt like, oh, that is so cool. Like, what a great idea, to enhance a true community center. Even though we're focused on older adults, like, what a great way for people to connect, right? Like, oh, my grandson helped paint this mural, and it's like extra pride, right? So I just thought I'd add that.
I thought the same thing. I thought it was really cool that she teaches here. And, yeah, so I was thinking the exact same thing because my kids go to Englewood.
Yeah, it's kind of a special, it makes it extra special, I think. And at Mally, we're trying to do some more intergenerational activities, so it just sort of makes sense, I think, but that's just my 2 cents.
And for clarity, right now, we're just looking at the portfolios for submissions for concept,
yeah.
right?
Concept. We voted on 3, so we agreed that we would pay for 3 concepts, which I do think we should do to do that process, because we haven't done a concept process, so I think even if we have a leaning, we should still go through the process. But I think the greater question is, are you asking us on the 2, are you wanting to see if we could re-vote on those 2? Can we do that on the one that was suggested with Chelsea?
It's a great question. Now talking about this with y'all out loud and circling back on the clarity on this is for a vote on submissions of concepts. I think we're totally fine with that. We don't need to re-vote. But I am thankful that we've had an opportunity to kind of discuss the nuances behind it. But yeah, I think the top 3, if that was the most popular vote, we should move forward with those votes.
do we use any criteria though that we have talked about, even though we haven't made any decisions on any of it? Like, we had kind of put together that rubric a little bit and never really moved forward with it.
Maybe we could use this as a case study for us to kind of define what we're looking for in a criteria checklist. Maybe this is an opportunity where I think everything has an exception, right? And this is for me specifically as well, this is like my learning stone through experience and maybe building something that feels right for all of us. But if it feels right for y'all, we could use this as a guideline to building those guidelines, and anything that pops up or any questions like we just had right now, we could share amongst the group with each other to kind of build something that feels representative of all of our thoughts.
That could be helpful.
Are you saying like guidelines for future projects?
Yeah, for future processes and guidelines.
One thing that definitely has gone through my head, and I don't exactly know where this fits into all this, but in any public art, it's a bigger discussion, that it's stipulated or no AI is used.
Like it all has to be human generated, hand generated.
Which I did add.
Did you? Okay.
Yes, I did add. Yes.
So I'm sorry for derailing, but I just
No,
wanted
no,
to bring
no.
up.
I mean, to me, it should just be like for city projects.
That's a great.
Art
Will be
project.
physically painted, so at least we know that that
The
part
robots
is
that
real.
were.
All right, so we feel good about the top three. We'll take a closer look at art selection guidelines.
But I
But we'll
was-
go forward with three.
But I was really happy with this call.
Yeah.
And I do think it was really great to see what we got written as well as seeing so much submitted through both portfolios and just even the pictures. I was really happy with the way we could look at each artist more dynamically.
Yeah, and this is our first time really doing this process. We laid it out last summer, but really haven't been able to execute it, so thank you.
Oh, thank you. This is so fun for us.
Yeah, but we're still learning, so there's always room for improvement.
And I will say, I was so impressed with the portfolios we got on this call.
Yeah.
I was really thrilled at the variety and I don't know, I thought it was really great compared to what I've seen in the past.
No, I mean, just the scale that you got was great.
It was the scale.
That was really neat.
There were so many,
That's great.
There were that.
which was great.
So after we get the 3 submissions, then we look at them and choose which ones we'd like to pass on for the community to vote on. Is that
Yes.
the process?
Yes.
So I have a quick question. So they will do like their rendition of an Aspen and then that's what we put up. Got it, just making sure.
And it'll be, and I'm wondering what you guys think. I was going to ask for a rough concept, or should I have like just a concept? Drawing?
I think if you're going to ask an artist for art, they're gonna make it no matter what.
Okay.
So the whole thing, probably.
Okay, sounds good.
But I do think we should include the bios to go to the community as well or something so people know more about each potential way that they're gonna do these projects. Like if we wanna share the generational piece, I think it's important for the community to hear that since they're voting as well.
Will they have a chance to write their bio again or will we just take this one?
We can have it where they like, once they submit the concept, they like write a statement with their concept.
Yeah, when you're talking about, because it's like, I'm a graphic designer and artist too, so I'm familiar. It's like, so when you're asking them, because they're not going to do like the entire, like you're just asking them, here's a visual concept stylistically. It's not going to necessarily be the final thing. It's just like, this is just a sketch, in a sense, a colorful sketch.
That's
Oh,
what
I
I
was
was,
thinking.
the full concept?
Yeah, I don't think they would provide the full final because
We're
then you should,
paying them.
yeah, you should pay them way more than $500 to create a full mural,
Sure, I
full
understand.
thing,
I
yeah.
am in the same boat. I do graphic design as well.
Yeah.
But I think that if somebody's going to do it and we're going to have them be voted on, then it does at least need to have color and have some sort of like true semblance of
Oh,
what
sure.
the end thing will be and not just like a small sketch of like, here's an aspen tree I can draw.
Well, that opens up an opportunity for more ideas. I'm gonna
Well, I think
add
it's like
that.
sketching, you know, like like a color study on it and everything. And then along with it, a lot of times it's, for me, it's just like I will, because I do poster design for the music industry. And so it's like, here's a concept sketch. And then I will also, and it's like colors and the typography and everything in it. And then along with that will be, you know, here's examples of existing work that is stylistically the same.
Sure.
So they can kind of get an idea of
I
that.
think whatever we ask them for, there's value in giving a little tiny bit of guidance, just so that one person doesn't do the sketch. And
Yeah.
they're full and then-
Because that would be kind of an unfair value comparison.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know what
But
that
everybody
guidance
works
is.
differently too, so I think it has to be pretty clear what we want.
Just to make a suggestion, it might be worth reaching out to like Denver Arts and Venues or somebody, I'm sure they already have all of those kinds of specs put in
I
place.
was gonna look, because they have several art calls, at least they did in like January, they had a few art calls already out.
Yeah.
I'll reach out to them and see what their guidance is. I do think that everything should be consistent, just to make sure we get some accurate concept drawings.
What's the timeline on this?
They'll have a month, so it'll be due before the packet's out, basically.
We nominate or someone volunteer who is a visual artist, because I'm not one, to put that guidelines together or a little bit of guidance for them?
I mean, I think, yeah, I'll research.
You're doing it? That's
Yeah,
fine.
yeah. I can send you guys like tomorrow, what that can look like, just so you can see and if you have any recommendations for it. Does that sound good?
Yeah, that's.
I also still didn't get answered, what's the difference between a rough concept and a regular concept?
So with a rough concept, I did this with the Mally mural where I was like, just get like basic shapes, what the general theme will be, what this is going to look like. It doesn't have to be perfected. It's just like you can draw on the wall and like make it look like what it will be. So we get the idea of what the mural will look like as well as like example artwork. That's like rough. Like I didn't want them to spend too much time on it. I just wanted the idea out. With a finalized concept, it would be like fine, like what it would look like.
Okay.
Yeah.
And that's what you're talking about.
Well, I was misunderstanding what she was saying originally.
Oh, okay.
Okay, I'm gonna look. I'll send you guys what that wording will be. Email me back any suggestions. Ideally, I'm letting the artist know Friday, so get it quickly. Yeah. Okay.
Thank you all again. We're so
Yeah,
excited.
thank you.
It's so fun for us to look at artist work and, you know, something other than what we usually do. So thanks. Appreciate you all.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
All right, we'll move on to the guidelines and timeline discussion.
Oh, yeah. I didn't want to write this.
We're close to an hour. Do we have time to talk about this, or sometimes we push or just?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I have to teach at 7, so.
Let's do it, because we emailed today and then like finished our email conversation like right before this.
Okay.
was
You
hit,
wanna
So
table
let's just
it?
talk again. That's cool.
Okay.
Okay, yeah, that's
The,
fine if everyone's good.
the video and that, we'll just ask them to review it on their own, and
Sounds good.
it'll be okay.
We can push the wayfinding update as well.
Okay,
That'd be
sounds good.
nice.
Do we want to do,
Hillary has slides though.
yep, Haley?
Haley, I'm sorry, Haley.
That's okay.
I knew that too.
Mine is quick, I promise. It's, and I know you guys are gonna need some time to mull over the information, so this is just to present it tonight. But I'm here on behalf of Second Saturdays, and for the funding request for the 2026 for our current year. If you could, I don't know if everyone had seen this, so I just wanna, I'm sorry, I tell you to go ahead and then I want you to.
You're good.
Our logo is on the left, and then the map that we update as different businesses enter into participating in Second Saturdays is on the right. So I just want to make sure everybody had seen that. And then if you go to the next slide, it just gives a little update of the website, because the last time I was here, we're still hosted on the Easel website. But we just kind of broke out the information a little bit so people understand who's involved in Second Saturdays and what it is. And then if you were to scroll, this is what the web page looks like. And if you were to scroll down, you will see the map there. Oh, sorry, I don't have it on this, but if you were on the real web page, you would scroll down and see the map. And then you would also see flyers for the different participating businesses. And then now you can move to the next. Thank you so much, Lucia.
Yeah.
So this was our request last year when I came to you guys when we had first started the Second Saturday idea. And I came in March and we got approval in April. And this is where the money went. So it's all broken out. And actually, let me just pass, I don't think I have enough for everybody, but so if people want to share, that would be great. And I'm happy to send this out to the group so that everybody has it. Oh, thank you. But at the top of the page, it's got this part right here that you see from 2025. And so we had a $3,000 approval last year from this group. And then I also included the Economic Development Association. Or Englewood, how do they say that, Englewood Development?
Greater Englewood Chamber of Commerce?
No, Hillary's group.
Oh, EDDA?
Yeah. Okay, thank you. EDDA. You guys, I'm sorry, my brain.
No, it's a lot of
sweet. There's a lot of it.
Englewood Downtown Development Authority.
Thank you. Yes, Englewood Downtown Development Authority. So they also funded us last year. And the amazing thing was because, they have specific boundaries for where they fund. Many of us fall outside of those boundaries, Stuart, me, other businesses. And, but the great news is, even though we fall beyond those boundaries, we still get the benefit because of the, of the greater collective that is part of Second Saturdays. So that kind of gives you a snapshot of where we were last year. And then if you go to the next one, this is for 2026. So you will see that there is a jump in costs or funds that we are requesting. Part of that is because we're asking for funding for the entire year rather than just April through December. And the other thing is, as we are starting to get established with this program and you kind of realizing grassroots efforts, what it's all going to take to really, establish and expand on what we're doing. This gives you kind of that snapshot. So most of the money that we are asking for is in regards to getting the information out about Second Saturdays, which has been really great. And I feel like the Englewood community has been really receptive. I believe most of us who participate, we don't have a way yet of collecting like hard data for you guys, whether that's, like actually clicking how many people are attending events, again, because we're kind of all figuring this out as we go. I don't have that, but I can tell you anecdotally that we have, all of us who participate, I think, see increased participation almost every month that some months are off and, things happen, but, and we've been getting such good feedback from the community about the program. So most of it is in regards to advertising to continue to get the word out. And the other piece of it that we're asking for is going to be, there's a part in there that's street flair. It's like the third item from the bottom. We're working with the EDDA right now, so that's why it says TBD, because the meeting is happening tomorrow. But what that is for those who are in the core downtown area that have planters, we can put signage and like different things out so that people are able to, know that's going on. For those of us who are outside of that corridor and don't have planters or trees planted or anything like that, we're hoping to do flags so that, it's a sign, a universal sign around Englewood that, oh, this is a business that participates in Second Saturday. So something reusable, something that we can use every month that would be out there. So we're still kind of figuring out those numbers, but our ask to you won't change on that. And then the only other thing that, aside just from real advertising, is the third from the top, which is mailings for galleries in Englewood. One of the things that we would like to do, since this was started as, really encouraging the creative arts in Englewood, the galleries would like to do some direct mailers that would target residents in Englewood, which is where the EDDA is coming in on there, and then also in like the surrounding neighborhoods. So that might be Cherry Hills, Littleton, Greenwood Village, like some of the surrounding suburbs that probably don't know what's happening here, but to get that word out so that they come and visit our businesses. We're still, again, we don't have that quite nailed down with the EDDA. That meeting will be tomorrow, but that is what that ask is for. And so, yeah, I'll let you guys digest that, and then if you have any questions.
I just have a quick, so
Yeah.
could you what you were just talking about, so that $2,000 is, to clarify, that's mailings specifically to promote the galleries or mailings to specifically promote Second Saturdays?
It's promoting Second Saturdays and the galleries. So it's kind of,
booklet, right? Or are you thinking like a postcard?
like a postcard.
Okay.
Yeah, so it would be mentioning the Second Saturdays that, it's like Second Saturdays, but also like making sure people understand that there are over 10 art galleries in Englewood. So it's a kind of it's both, yes and, on that one.
Thanks.
We've seen the student art leagues on newspaper, they said mail.
Mm-hmm.
That's
actually really, something, we don't have the design yet, so I don't have that to share. It's just a concept that actually, because the EDDA is doing one already, that we were like, oh, maybe we can piggyback on that. So that's where that came from.
I have a question for you. As we go into these strategy meetings for Englewood South, South Englewood.
Oh, did they decide?
Englewood South.
Yes,
Oh,
Englewood Sound.
okay.
Self points. Is there any potential funding to support Englewood South as we're talking about these things, or is it just through us right now?
I have art events as a topic on the strategy, which can involve second Saturdays for sure. In terms of funding, we don't have, I mean, we have Cultural Arts Commission funding, but we don't have additional funding.
So it all comes through here?
Yes.
Okay, that's all.
Yes.
I was just curious if there's any bucket in there, but there's no.
Yeah,
bucket.
so what we're gonna do, we're gonna build the art strategy, determine how much funding would be needed to execute the strategy, and then go to council to ask for that. Yeah, for 2020, either this year or 2027.
Yeah, because I see an alignment with the South Broadway work that, Broadway South work that we're all doing.
Definitely.
And I hear what you're saying, because I mean, sometimes it feels disjointed from everything else. So it's lovely to see an opportunity to support that area, especially since we're, like, as a community entirely, we're putting such an investment behind it. I need a lot to process all of it.
I know, I'm not asking for anything tonight. I just wanted to get the information. And then I'll email this document to you, so if you want to send it out to the group, that'd be great.
Yeah.
And they can, anybody, I'll have my contact information in there. You guys can email me, call me with any questions. If I don't have the answer, I will definitely work to find it for you right away. Oh, and there's an example, just kind of like the advertising that's going around of what it looks like in print.
Kaylee, can I ask you if you had a top like 5 funding that you think is the most important of this request, what would you say it is?
The top 5, could I confer with the team to actually?
Just like if you could let us know, like when you send this back, like if there's things you want to highlight and you want us to know as like the most important priorities for you.
Yes, okay,
I think that would be good as we look at our budget and
Yeah.
get back to you about what.
Absolutely, be happy to do that.
And just to clarify, and I may have missed it while I was looking at all the things. So I see website maintenance here, and I know last time we spoke about supporting a website because you guys were on easel. So
Yes.
is that supporting easel's website, not a completely separate?
No, right now we're choosing to keep it hosted at easel just for ease of maintenance mostly. Because they're already paying for the hosting. We don't have to pay for that. This is just basically for like the monthly maintenance for somebody to go in and update the website with the new listings and all that information.
Okay, that's great to know. So that is no longer needed, so most of the funding is already here on this piece of paper.
Exactly, yep.
Should we have you come back in March?
Yeah, I'm happy to come back in March. And then if you guys have questions that you want me to answer in March, I'll make sure I have that information for you.
Perfect.
We love
Sounds
you.
good.
Keep coming back. We
I-
love when you keep coming back.
I know I can't actually be a member because I don't live here, but I do like coming to the CAC.
Good.
Is sorry, I just noticed the community magazine, and so you're saying that would be different than like the Englewood one? Is that like the Wash Park one or something?
Yeah, that's like they're the littler ones around, like the Englewood Herald. There's, I forgot what the Littleton one is called, Wash Park. Yes, those smaller ones, yep. Okay.
I guess one of my concerns on this, is there any money spent on programming? Because this is a lot of advertising, and I'm wondering, it just seems like, if we're spending a lot of, using money to support the arts, which I think is important. Along with that, it's just like if we're talking about culture and getting people involved, it's like if we're, what is this group doing to encourage sort of like engagement with the community?
That's a great question, and right now, we're a group of people running businesses. We don't have a, like actual, we're just, so yes, we don't have programming. We're very open to, recommendations that might come from the CAC. But, to be honest with you, we're all trying to keep our businesses open, running, doing the things, so Second Saturday kind of helps filter all of that without having, here's a good example. My second Saturday in March is going to be an open event to the public where people can come and do printmaking. I know N Collective has done a lot of those kinds of activities that are on second Saturdays. I know your business has also done those. Is there like an actual organized, everybody's doing the same thing? No, because we have so many
Oh,
different
yeah, no, I'm
businesses.
not saying everybody needs to do the same thing. It's just that if there's it's like if some of this budget goes towards programming.
Well, I don't think we have we don't have a program that fits everybody. And I mean, that would have to go to individual businesses for the programming that they're doing, which none of us are asking for.
Gotcha.
But I do think though, having lived in Englewood for about 10 plus years, it's nice to see so many opportunities with the arts available on those second Saturdays that never existed before second Saturdays. So I might say the one thing I have noticed is like it's been really exciting to go to gallery openings, hearing artists talk, be able to wander around going into Continuum and seeing the studios and sitting down with artists. And while that's maybe not a collective program from all of you who are involved, that is lots of programming opportunity that wasn't here before.
Absolutely.
For all of Englewood. So I don't want to dismiss like where I do see the benefit of supporting these businesses who are providing free programming for Englewood for the most part in a way that didn't exist previous, to my knowledge, this robustly in the community.
And I will say it extends beyond second Saturday.
Yeah.
Because a lot of us have other types of, events that we host or organize or things that are going on that, so it's beyond second Saturday.
Totally.
We also kind of fell off of going to some of the second Saturday things. I think each of us was like taking a month. So maybe we could get back on that like in the spring.
Yeah, and I probably need to sit down again with Haley to figure out what it looks like, because again, every event, I think what I learned in the process is every event's so unique that how we show up needs to vary per event, and that's tricky for me. And so I think there's more opportunities for us to be involved. I just need to figure out how to collectively work with you and the other groups to figure out what's the need from us, because I love like going to Continuum for me felt so impactful. But then on the other hand, going to Easel, while great, it just wasn't the right venue because of what was happening. It was just too busy. It was a night where I was in, but I was more of a participant and not there as a cultural arts. It was just different. It was like I was exploring the gallery. And so I think it would be good maybe for me and you to sit down and think about like, how could we support and what would that look like? Because I want to do it in a way that's meaningful. And I think they're so unique, like everyone's different. And so I think it's finding the right path for us when we show up.
Absolutely.
That's actually helpful.
And I can think about that too when we get the submissions from everybody each month. If there's something that comes up and it's like, oh, this would be a great opportunity for cultural arts to come, send it out to you guys. If you're able to come, great. So happy to keep that top of mind.
Are there a certain number of artists that participate? Are the same artists on the regular?
There's a lot of the same businesses, yes, are on the regular. I'd say there's like a core group probably of 10 that every single month they are going to have consistent programming. Okay. Then there's like the periphery around them that are like maybe every other month or most months, and then a group that every once in a while, because of just how their businesses are run, participate, or because of I'm thinking of like Tejon Art Studios. They do events like twice a year, but they do those 2 events on second Saturdays. So we're still working on getting more and more businesses to participate.
I was just thinking of like a punch card or a passport.
Yes.
Like if, like that we could give the community, and every time they hit one of the
kind of
second
like the
Saturday
Littleton
business.
like sparkle.
Yeah.
Yes.
You hit them all, you get a cool.
Or like I don't know, something
I
that you
think-
scratch off and at the end it's like a picture of the letter. I don't know, something like that.
I think Hillary with the EDDA was working on something like that. We meet tomorrow, so let me circle back on that with you, because yes, I think that would be amazing. And it's, the whole point of second Saturdays is for people to come in and visit multiple businesses. So I think that's a great way for them to, be incentivized to hit multiple places and get multiple stamps or something. Absolutely.
And we'll be at Blue Tile on March 14th, which is second Saturday.
Yep.
So
that will be our artist reception too, so we'll have a little event.
That's true.
For the CAC? Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah, we're doing our traffic cabinet wrap. We're celebrating the artists from the program that were installed last year and this year.
Awesome.
So we'll have some artist talks and we'll have snacks and refreshments and
But feel free to send people down from the businesses, letting them where they're.
Yeah, I'll be open on second Saturday, so I'll make sure to tell everyone who's at me to come down. But and they just expanded into that other space on the side, so super exciting.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, it's spring break.
Oh no. But you're gonna have fun, I'm hoping.
Well, yeah, but
Yeah.
it was so fun when I saw the date.
Yeah.
I have one last question. I don't know if this is appropriate protocol. And I was trying to save space and time for Martin, but while we're looking at these numbers, is there a way for us to reflect how much we have in a budget for the year?
Yeah.
Here, let me pull this up. So that way, while we're all mulling over and digesting the information, we also have some numbers associated as well for memory.
And from the last meeting, yeah, I have it printed in there. From the last meeting, it's on an attachment too, for the budget.
Well, we had to save some for the maintenance, so.
Sorry, it's opening. Excel takes forever.
I'm looking as well. See if I can find it.
Okay. So this is where we're at.
Is that with or without the art maintenance?
That's with art maintenance. I have it down here in the art maintenance reserve.
So we have to remove 15,000 for our art maintenance, so that would put that at 75. Yeah, 75 is really where we're at for spending.
Art maintenance is included.
It is included.
It is included.
Okay.
So that total remaining.
At 90.
Yeah.
Okay, sorry, just wanted to, I was like, that's.
No, you're good. I just wanted to make sure you knew. So that's where we're sitting right now. Refresher, the artist reception and other events.
That was a proposal made for.
That's for the, I know I put Signal Wrap artist. I believe that's for the, I just duplicated the lines, and apologize. But the artist reception, other events will be the traffic cabinet wrap reception.
Okay.
Yeah, I just duplicated it.
Thank you.
Yes. So that's where we're sitting. And if anyone wants to review it, again, it's on the previous agenda, attached on there. Okay. Okay, final things for me. This is Addie. She will be the board, what is it called? Board administrator?
Yeah.
Yeah, commission administrator. So she's learning from Debbie right now. Thank you, Debbie, for helping us through this meeting. I really appreciate it. But yeah, she will be the new Andrea for us. But she's still learning, so we'll get there. And then we have a new member, which is Stuart.
Hello.
Yes, apologize we haven't had introductions. But welcome to Cultural Arts Commission.
Thank you.
It was a little whirlwind. All right, anything
Say an
else?
oath tonight or no?
We can do it afterwards.
Okay,
So.
that's it.
Thanks, everyone. I appreciate your time tonight.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, we adjourned.
So really quickly, Martin had to leave. Do we have anything under commissioners? No? Okay, great. So meeting adjourned.
7:09.
Oh, I'm gonna pass this.
For 1 second.
Okay. Anyway, I gotta sign some things.
Yes, you do.
It's not, oh, that was Chris's shirt, because that's like,
Yeah.
Oh.
his phone number in the internet.
Yeah.
It doesn't look very well worn.
I guess I could just call him.
Put it on her.
So then we'll do like.
Yeah.
Yeah, pleasure. Thank you for having me.
Super, super fast.
We're definitely gonna see you next week.
Oh, yeah.
Can you just
Yeah,
give us a
I'll be back.
sign those
I will
and
do
then
that.
copies?
I do try to,
Yeah.
I do try to
When I
be
touch base with
with it.
coffee,
It's
just
just
happy
I
to like
Yeah,
catch you up if
do you
you want to
park
hear
in
about
the
our
park?
projects and all that. Okay.
Oh,
I should
I
probably
love
want to.
beaches. It's just that I get
It's dark out now, but okay.
Yeah, then it like.
You're,
Always think of the women's thing.
you're.
I'll bring the
Community
coffee.
outreach.
Sounds good.
Community outreach. Please
He's
support
home
this.
this week, so I was like, you got Wednesday.
Great, well,
And I've said.
Meeting by hell or high water.
look forward
I'll send you a
Oh,
picture.
best way to get.
I brought
Lower.
Is it
falling
falling
under there on my
Pink
phone.
lamp.
Yeah, I was
Yeah,
working,
it
I was
wasn't
like.
here. Yeah, that's good.
What, like,
Yeah, if they get
Oh,
lost.
probably like forever ago.
I mean, I just.
Yeah,
Totally.
so good.
We had, I think you referenced this
Yeah.
summer,
Yeah,
so
you're
you're
like-
like.
They're,
Honestly, our program isn't very big.
Yeah, well, I'll take it
I thought
back.
it was like 8. I was like, yeah, but we did.
I know.
There's definitely.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yeah.
Next guy. Okay,
So,
Yeah, they're great. They're-
Did you just get it today?
Yeah, keep
But
straight
it's,
from
it's
the
fun,
yard.
it's like.
Wow, I'm
outskirts and
Work with-
Cameron is so excited.
when we come back, when I'm driving on the hills.
Yeah, I'm excited to see what it's like to,
Very
but I tried to do some
We'll
that kind of
trade
stuff
like
on my
lives one day.
about it.
Totally.
But
I'll be over
the
there.
DIY, I'm very curious to see like what
Yeah.
the process is like.
Yeah, it all kind of depends too on,
Yeah, no,
we're
it'll be.
lucky to have you, you are probably so lucky.
We'll see.
No,
Might
I
change
know,
your mind.
yeah. No,
I'm really excited.
Oh,
Like,
yeah.
I
Yeah,
can
no,
do
just
some
reach out
really
to me.
cool slow mo,
Yeah, I will.
like wood, shape and fly.
well, it's great, and I can,
It's a good
if
chance
you
to
want to,
like
yeah,
We'll
I'm
send
happy
them
to
a
like
list of
tell you what we're working on,
Yeah.
and bring it up.
Yeah, that'd be great.
Thanks.
Good.
I think so.
Anything in slow motion.
Okay, I'm gonna have you read that and sign it.
All right.
Yay.
Wait,
Yes, thank
sign it.
you.
I'll send that info